Okay, everybody. It's Friday. Sorry, I'm a little late. As I was go to stream, somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn, fulfilling something they had suggested that they were going to do for me. So I was like, cool. Let me answer that because it's another potential show, another potential interview. So just wanted to make sure that we got that for everybody. So. Hope everybody's had a good week. It's been, I would say, trying for me this week. It wasn't overly stressful. It's just I've been spiraling a little bit with some of the things that are going on at work, and so okay, good. So managed to secure Ms. Bat, who's going to be on this weekend, Sunday, to talk about hiring and what it takes, to get hiring. Ms. Bat has ran several career workshops at conferences like B-Sides and DerbyCon and B-Side Seattle and elsewhere. DefendCon up in Seattle as well. So it's great to have her back on. So we're working to get that one on and running. We actually posted up part 1 with Accidental CISO, which we did last Sunday, to the audio podcast. And all right, awesome. Sorry, check out our Twitch and. Break sec. I'm typing to the person who it sounds like we're going to have on to talk about for recruiting purposes. Hey, Walt, how you doing? Hey, Lady P. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. YouTube. YouTube is youtube.com/@breakseced. I'm streaming right now, as a matter of fact. Streaming as I type this. All right. Yeah. Carl Weathers passed away. He was also most recently on The Mandalorian, which it was sad to hear. Yeah. 76, according to websites, no apparent cause of death. Family said he passed in his sleep, fairly peacefully. So that's, far worse ways to go than just passing peacefully in your sleep. We can only hope that we all pass in such a way. So, but yeah, we're gonna. Okay, so it sounds like we're going to have a real recruiter on, who may or may not be lurking. So welcome, recruiter, if you're on. I won't pop your name up there. But yeah, we're gonna talk about hiring, and that's some of what we're going to talk about with Ms. Bat. And so working towards some goals, and making sure that we get interviews and content that people find more interesting. And to be fair, we were probably slacking a little bit on the interviews and stuff in the past few months. So it's good to get back and get people on that have interesting things to talk about. And I just, as a matter of fact, I sent out another, I've done 4 now today, just alone. So confirmed Ms. Bat yesterday, the recruiter person, Kevin Johnson sent out an invite for him, and also our friend Jared Freitas, who we've had on the show before. So we're going to have him on again, talking about some threat modeling and stuff, because we're doing pretty good. So yeah, even if we don't get all 4 of those, we'll have more than I think we did in a while. So it's good to see. So I'm going to close my LinkedIn. Yoink. Doink. There we go. And I'm probably going to. The other thing that I'm working on, and I'm really trying to get up the confidence to do this, is my solo RPG stuff. So I've been watching a show called Bad Spot Podcast. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Who's also doing a solo version of Starforged Ironsworn, Ironsworn Starforged, and I kind of like the format. Kind of set up like a TV show. You know, you have the inciting event, or you have something going on, a little bit of fiction before the solo bits. The only difference is this guy tends to he puts content warning in, which is great, and so it's mostly him talking because it's an audio podcast. But when he makes decisions or whatever, he has specific things that he's got. He brings these up, so it's not him on the screen, which that may be something that I may end up doing. But I also thought about having character pictures or something on there. So I was working through like Bing Create to create anime photos or something like that in an anime style for characters or AI or something like that. So was looking for mechanics or interesting people of different types, different more body positive type discussions and people. I don't know why some of these came up in different ways. Some of these got blocked because when you do things like add green skin, I'm thinking they're like, oh, he's trying to put the Hulk in or something like that. So I was running up against a couple of things there where solo RPG, is that for OF? OF? I don't know what OF is, but so I was looking through and different styles and different hair colors and anime style, tween blue hair, mechanic, etc. So just where I know some of the anime either goes extremely like weird, or you have to tweak it a little bit, but they seem to be certain tropes in the anime style for a ton of stuff. OF. I don't know what OF is. But there's the other thing I've noticed is that Bing Image Creator is shrinking the amount of history that you have. So, no, not OnlyFans. No. No. I'm not the old. I am old, but that's because I don't think I've ever been on that. So, let me turn that off. There we go. But so I'm definitely trying to not do the anime tropes, but it appears that they have certain anime tropes that they put in their AI to play with things. So, let me see. That's all right. So, I actually don't go to OnlyFans. So, all right. So somebody had sent a link, because I'm trying to learn Rust in a roundabout way. And, the Rust as an OS was, I think, probably a bit too low level for somebody like me. So somebody had mentioned this. What was the person's name? Harrison. I don't know if Harrison's watching or what have you. But Harrison had posted up one about a Rust framework for web framework called Leptos. No. So Lady P, for me, for the pictures or what have you, because ideally, you'd like to have some kind of difference. If I'm going to be playing, with different characters or like an NPC or something, you'd kind of want to have an idea other than me having to change my voice to sound like Cookie Monster or something for that character to have some idea as to what they might look like, or maybe we can work those out. But attribution is important as well for me, which for an AI seems kind of odd. But what's this? Sorry, I've got late Friday discussions at work. What's going on here? Interesting. Okay. So this is a web framework gaining popularity. They suggest that it's high performance, ease of use, and has security features. security features, right? They put that in there. It's based on the concept of reactive UIs. This means the UI is updated automatically whenever the underlying data changes. This makes Leptos very efficient as it avoids the need to re-render the UI every time a change is made. I just dropped out of a game dev proposal because the principal said we don't need to pay artists, we'll just use AI. Yeah. My problem is I kind of need something a little faster than, soliciting to artists to do something, and then I have to do back and forth. I'm still not happy with some of the stuff I'm getting on the AI, but if I have 20 or 30 NPCs or something for my solo campaign, it's going to be what, 100, $50 to $100 for every picture, 1 to 2 weeks, turnaround time, depending on how busy the artist is. And it's like, do I have time to do that? Maybe 1 or 2 set pieces or something like that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We don't need to pay artists. We use AI. It's shitty. It's shitty, especially for a game developer who would be making millions of dollars off of these things. No, I appreciate that, Asian music. And I have friends who are artists. As a matter of fact, let me, I actually thought about reaching out to, what is that? Sarah. Sorry, I'm doing the dirty and going over to my Facebook page. So, I mean, we have, oh no, that's not hers. That's not hers. Where's some of her stuff at? Where is some of her stuff at? Does she have a website or something? Like Self-Employed Academy of Art. She's an instructor at the Academy of Art University. Photos. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So, she does, pencils and pastels, and she has all kinds of stuff. She's got quite a collection of art, and she has and it's just, I like the style, but it does take time to get. So some of my best friends are artists. Yes, exactly. It's yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand the discussion around it. I think we've talked to death about how AI is, takes inspiration from other artists and what have you. It probably was not the best argument to talk about with her, being somebody who is an artist herself. So, yes, Age. Yes. I did tell her she teaches at an art college, an academy for art. And it's like, you're kind of drawing, based on certain inspirations. And I was like, we should treat the AI as if it were another artist. It's taking, certain inputs from a bunch of different places and kind of melding that together into its own style. Or that's the idea anyway. Anywho, so I'm looking at that. I'm just trying to make sure that what I'm doing at least has some kind of attribution that I can put back to it. But so the one thing that got me about Leptos was at the end of, where's the book? Where's the book for this thing? Here it is. Yeah. So they mentioned this book. Here's the book right here, leptos.dev. And I realize I've been using the little handle on the water bottle wrong this whole time. Damn, I'm stupid. What? Yeah. Oh, you mean like this water bottle? When I'm walking around like this, yeah, I don't know. I just found it a little easier to, Yeah, I mean, I'm just, grip it by the husks or whatever. So the one thing that got me about, So one of the things that got me about this was they said, where is it? They'd mentioned that, you know, once you build your page and, you know, once we get done with this, you can use this UI that you're going to build on web pages that do static, you know, content or somewhat static content like GitHub pages or whatever. And I was like, well, this would be helpful if I wanted to build out my my own personal web page, which is a hot garbage right now. And sometimes I see something that just hurts my soul. I should have to wear a safety vest in public. Yeah, Lady P, she sold hers long ago when she became a CIO or what have you. There was an old cartoon I saw about, you know, in the Navy, it's like when you become a lieutenant, you lose your brain. When you become a commander, you lose your heart. And when you become a captain, you lose your spine. And I'm still remembering that. So, yeah. So yeah, it assumes you're familiar with Rust programming language, HTML, CSS, DOM, and web APIs. Yeah, so one final note before we get to build. So we're gonna try to go through this on Fridays. It seems like this will be a lot easier than trying to build an OS from scratch using Rust, which, you know, I don't make hundreds of thousands. Hey, Core Bob, welcome. Thanks for coming in and hanging out and joining us. If oh yeah, here, let me add the book here. Doink. There we go. You can go check that out. You can also read up on what the person said here for boink. So the good thing is the website where you get the book, the source for the book is that it's regularly updated. So it's not like we're dealing with a 5-year-old book with, you know, several years worth of stuff. I mean, 2 days ago, 7-8 months ago for the code of conduct. Here's one that's 2 years ago, but that was a license bit. So it's actively updated and it's being, you know, regularly banged, tap on. So, and then of course there's an issues tab here where we'll be able to go and look at some of the issues here. Hopefully some of these aren't blockers for the book itself or the how-to on how to do these items. So, you need to install Rust. Once you have Rust installed, you can install Leptos by running the following command. Cargo install Leptos. Okay. Let me see. Do I have Rust installed already? All right, let me see. Hodl. There you go. Meme generated. Let me see. Language, Rust. Yeah, we got some Rust in here. What's this? You have Docker installed in your system. Do you want to install extensions from Microsoft Word? Sure, why not? Yes, I love me installing some. I know y'all can't see the VS Code UI. 1 second here. I'm going to stop using pre-release version here. It's raining like hell outside earlier. Now it's sunny. It's weird ass weather we got going on here. All right. Oh, another actor passed away. William O'Connell. Most of you who are old school Star Trek fans would recognize him as the guy who played the Orion agent on Journey to Babel. Where was it? Let me see. Where is he? Yeah, so, not that guy. There he is. He was the guy who played the Orion spy on there. He also played in High Plains Drifter, Outlaw Josie Wales, a lot of Eastwood movies. So he passed away too. So very sad. Yep. That's the wrong freaking link. Okay, there we go. There we go. So he Where is it? Where is it? There he is. He played the bad guy Andorian on Star Trek the original series. But yeah, passed away last week. Journey to Babel. Yeah, that was a good one. Conniving Orion agent. So, yep. All right, so we've got VS Code installed here. Let me go down to where is my terminal window? New terminal, Control Shift backtick. Okay, so oh yeah, one sec. VS Code Fridays. It has been a minute since we've done any kind of VS Code stuff, huh? I don't even have VS Code in this. Ouch. Window capture, VS Code. There we go. Don't need the full screen though, goodness. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, close that. And then, according to this, I should be able to go cargo install. Why am I doing that? Okay, let me double check and make sure I don't have anything out of the ordinary here. Okay, so mkdir leptos. I'm just going to create a leptos directory. Shut up. There we go. Now, just in case, install leptos. Okay, so I don't have rest installed, right? Nope. All right, so let's install rest real quick. I thought I had installed it since we last played around with, since I last reinstalled my OS, but I guess I did not. 64-bit. Okay, so there's a lot of prerequisites here. Okay. One, quick install via this Visual Studio Community Installer. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my God, okay. Visual Studio Installer, yeah. Okay, great. Yes. All right. Well, while we're poking around here, Cloudflare got owned up. Saw that one later. That let me see, what's this say? Okay, install. Yes, start after installation. Hopefully I don't have to reboot, because it'll be a very short, unfun stream if I have to reboot for shit. So that's an interesting sound coming out of my computer. Let's see what my 53C, all right, 93% CPU, all right. That fan's on, very good. Yeah. 32 megs a second. Man, I don't miss dial-up at all. Having to sit here waiting for, 5K per download. It would take me a little while to download 1.3 gigs of data. So yeah, the question came up here where Beatrix had asked about, people pushing the breaking into cyber talk spaces and boot camps are full of it, and this is what precipitated the recruiter discussion. Watch some of cyber and infosec vets get laid off and let go over the last year and are struggling to find work. I hate seeing folks push a boot camp or fake narrative. I don't know who she's talking about and specifically, but yeah, we've seen a lot of who we consider to be, rock stars or whatever in the space saying, hey, I'm looking for a job. And yeah, no one had an answer, and cyber roles were few and far between with a saturated market. And then I said, hey, we've got 4 million jobs in the cybers unfulfilled right now. And I'd said, oh crap, I forgot to add the link to that, which is, where's it? Yeah, where is it? Posted up a link. Fuck is that? Man, I suck. Where is that? There was a CSO online discussion from somebody who put up the, hey, 4 million jobs, or CSO online, 4 million jobs. Yeah, here it is. Oh, so it shows the screen there. Okay. So yeah, it was the rock stars get paid rock star money. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, it's all about value, right? They have to bring in value, or maybe they were hired because they fulfilled a certain need, or yeah, there's a lot of things going on there, and I feel like it's not rock star money. It's people who understand what their value is. I mean, we saw, what is it? I saw a post the other day. The NFL is, looking for a analyst position for their global SOC, and they're going to pay $24 an hour for that. I'm like, holy shit. Mom and pop shop trying to make ends meet, just the NFL, and they're going to pay $24 an hour for freaking perception of value. Yeah, there's, where did I put that? I think we made light of it in our Slack channel here. Where is it? Yeah, it was bad. It was like an NFL. It was the NFL global SOC looking for a position. Okay, NFL global SOC analyst. Yeah, here it is. This is in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and 1 to 3 years of experience as an associate. Experience in emergency management, public safety, intelligence, corporate venue, security operations, incident management are supplemented by equivalent education, strong computing skills, comfort with data input and analysis, proficiency in network tools, flexibility to address tasks with conflicting deadlines. I mean, this is, even if they only want 3 or 4 items in these bullet points, this is an associate position, right? The security operations coordinator will help coordinate various functions in the GSOC. Either they assume an associate is something higher than what I'm expecting, but this feels like a very senior job, not a very junior job. And of course, it's $24 an hour, which is all they can afford right now because they've got some budget shortfall, right? So. It's a contract opportunity, so they don't have to actually keep you on for any length of time. You just get canned whenever. I do like the idea. Diploma or GED, bachelor's preferred. 1 to 3 years experience as an administrative assistant or project manager. So, preferred qualifications. Also, maybe a little project management work in there. But yeah, there was a lot going wrong with this one. Yeah. And you have to live near Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Gross. Even hybrid work at this point means you still have to live near where you have to go into the office, which sucks. And like Lady P said, and I think I mentioned it on Twitter, but that's, I said, hey, mom and pop shop, and Lady P was like, yeah, 26 to 28 an hour for junior help desk. Yeah, this is not a junior job. Conversely, I did see a cognizant position, which I actually called out and said, holy shit, it's a legitimate, junior position. And I've been dogging, let me see, here we go. I'd been dogging Cognizant because I had a very bad experience with them when I worked at IBM, or I'm sorry, not IBM, but Xerox, as a payment card processor. They brought this Cognizant in. A lot of long-term Xerox employees got converted to Cognizant employees. So if you had 15 years as a Xerox employee, basically that all went to shit. And any retirement you may have had, they probably cashed those folks out. But if you were L1, L2 help desk or troubleshooting or what have you, you started out day one as a Cognizant employee. And it was like, wow, you're starting over your shit. Exactly, Walt. They don't have any money. They're 18 billion barely is breaking even in this industry. So, but this was a great. This was actually a legitimate junior job. So yeah, various log sources, EDR, IPS, IDS, firewall logs. Minimum qualifications: 0 or more years of SOC experience. 0. Some IT exposure. Cool. Self-learning, they even mentioned self-learning. Industry standard security certifications. Okay, these are minimum qualifications, so you may or may not need that. Strong written or verbal communication, skills required to document and communicate findings. This is an excellent junior position, which, I don't know how much it's paying, but if I actually posted this to our site. Oh, there it is. Oh, well. Okay, 32.9. Gross. Yeah. I mean, if you're absolutely junior, I mean, that's less than what I was making in the military as a E5. So, 20 years ago. So, it is what it is. But if you are trying to get in the industry, I'm hoping 32.9 is not the norm. That's like you're just, dog walker and you decide to want to go up in there. But yeah, I mean, if you even have any kind of networking operations experience, you probably could get a, $45,000 to $50,000, startup job there. So the concern to me isn't the dollar amount; it's what tells you about the perception of the value of the job. Yeah, that's true, Lady P. And I don't know where this works. Cognizant is an IT outsourcing company, so they are. Oh, wait, I got some stuff going on. We recommend rebooting soon to clean up any remaining files. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to close down VS Code. I'm going to skip Visual Studio. I don't want to start Visual Studio because I am not a fan. And closing Slack or Zoom. Did I even install Rust? Did we install Rust? Okay. Nope. All right, what did I do wrong? Windows subsystem user Rust up. Oh, that's sorry, not Rust C, Rust up. Nope. Okay, current installation, proceed with installation, default, yes, 1. Oh, okay, it's installing Rust for me. Okay, cool. And yeah, you can see what's going on down there for that. But yeah, that's we're going to use these as examples of things to do and things to not do. But now that we've got the recruiter who's going to be coming in, we can also talk to the recruiter about these as well. So I just need to figure out when I'm going to get the recruiter online to make that happen. So, but yeah, I think if you have this many bullet points as a junior or an associate position, you probably aren't doing it right. I think. And to Cognizant's point, you've got, document improvements, knowledge sharing sessions, attending meetings, prepping documents. Okay, so you're going to be writing some stuff. You're going to be doing some IR related items. And it sounds like they said training. So security specialists will rotate shifts quarterly. So you're going to do some shift work, right? You're going to do quarterly rotation, which is better than a Panama schedule. Oh my God. So yeah, you may work 1, 2, or third shift. So I will tell you, the day shift is gonna suck. The mid and the night shift are way better, depending on what part of the world you're gonna have to be monitoring. So that the person that polishes their trophies disagrees with you about the meaning of a log entry, you lose. Yes, Lady P. Yeah. Oh wait, there we go. Is that it? Can't be it. Nope. Okay, what am I not? I thought I had installed Rust, but it is what it is. Rust up tool. Yes. Rust up tool chain install. Okay. I don't even have Rust up, I don't think. Well, yeah, but Lady P, you're not to use the word senior in any disparaging point of view, but you are a senior security or IT person. You're very hands-on, as evidenced by discussions about you needing to go in and bail water or beat people around the head and shoulders to get them to do what they need to do, in a loving manner, HR notwithstanding. But that's what I get for not fucking installing Rust ahead of time or not realizing I didn't have Rust. Loving, yeah. Okay. What am I doing wrong here? What is this? But yeah, it's just I'm almost to the point where I'm like, you know what? Just lie your ass off on your resume, because it's like it's obvious that the recruiters are fucking lying to us too, or throwing 500 people at a job description and hoping that the company that they are contracting with hires somebody from those 500 people so that the commission check clears. But yeah, it's at the and that's something we'll probably talk about a little bit in the show. $250 an hour would be a steal to get me, but being salaried, I get murdered on my hourly. Yeah. You do a lot of extra homework and extra work that you probably should not do, Lady P. You spend a lot of time, your overtime. What, time and a half for you? What, 250? So that'd be another 150, 375 an hour. You're getting paid better than a lot of plumbers out there. So there's that. Yeah, I ran Rust up in net.exe. Thank you very much. So according to this, you can uninstall these at any time. Cargo home directory is located at users Brian Cargo. This path will then be added to your path. You can uninstall these at any time with Rust up. Current default install operations. Double time on holiday. Yeah, so you're looking at what, 500 an hour? That's better than lawyer, isn't it? Rust is installed now. Great. To get started, you need to restart your current shell. This would reload its path environment variable to include Cargo's bin directory. Okay. So close that. And I'm going to start up. Where is my... There we go. Okay. That is not it. There. Okay, so Rust is working. So we've got Rust now. Yay! Okay, close that. So Control Shift backtick. There we go. Oh, I see what's wrong. I see the... No, I don't see what the problem is. This is PowerShell. Why do I keep typing rest up thinking it's going to do something different? Works over here, but it doesn't work there. Why is that? Oh well, I don't need it. I don't need it to work in the command line. All right. So maybe it would just be helpful to walk through the doc first a little bit to read what we're going to do here. So code. There we go. All right, we're done here. Close that. Okay. Leptos.dev book. All right, so building user interfaces. First part of this book, we're going to look at building user interfaces on the client side using a Leptos under the hood. Leptos and something they call trunk are bundling up a snippet of JavaScript, which will load up in the Leptos UI. And I think we did a little bit with, when we were learning what Go and WebAssembly, there was a lot of bullshit there trying. So WebAssembly and JavaScript are back. So there's going to be a bunch of shit and shims and bullshit and workarounds to get JavaScript and WebAssembly to work. Oh, fuck me. Okay. I can already see where this is going. Fuck. Can you just not have JavaScript? I mean, fuck. Part 1 will introduce you to the basic tools you'll need to build a reactive user interface. See, he said, this guy's funny. He's like, oh, it's secure. And then you've got WebAssembly and then you've got JavaScript. But, WebAssembly and JavaScript, as we've seen, you got to do a bunch of bullshit to do unsafe operations to get JavaScript to fit inside of WebAssembly. So, this is where I came up to. By the end of part 1, you should be able to build a snappy, synchronous website that's rendered in the browser, which you can deploy on any static site, hosting service like GitHub Pages or Vercel. You should probably just give up and switch languages and start again. Yeah, Lady P. All right, fuck it. Let's what is this? Learn Spanish. There we go. Let's learn some Spanish. ¿Dónde está? Oh, there we go. It's probably, there we go, Duolingo. We'll do some Duolingo. Yeah, there we go. I think I still have an account. I was learning French for a while there, and I went like almost a year without, missing anything, because at the time they had these like milestones, like every day you're supposed to learn something, and it was like 11:55, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't done my French today. So I'm like blasting through trying to get these things done. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I think this also goes back to some of the things that I was reading on LinkedIn, where somebody had said, somebody please think of where was that? Yeah, here we go. Somebody please think of the developers or whatever, because Jen Easterly, this guy Jeff Williams got big butt hurts about the blames developers for all of cyber problems after reaping the benefits of software innovation from the lowest cost provider for decades. One, he's attacking her for her previous work experience, which, is pretty shitty. But won't somebody please think of the poor developers that are having to build code, blah, blah, blah. And there was a lot of people who were, he's like, I'm surprised and disappointed by the lack of empathy for developers from some of the folks here. It's like, some of you imply that developers are lazy, careless, and negligent. Maybe. No, not Squirrel Lady P. Yeah. So this was an interesting discussion. Well, more like back and forth. But this guy, his ass got lit on fire by a bunch of people who were very unhappy. Only the ones that are late. Yeah, and I said, basically it was, security people are always thinking of the developers, but just not in the way that they want to be thought of in this case. So Oh, there's our friend Fernando. Yeah, he was talking on here, but it is a problem. Yeah, there's a management failure. It's a market failure. It's not a developer failure. A lot of CEOs and people who don't or haven't coded in probably 20 years, getting involved on here. Oh, there's Lance James. Okay, yeah, but yeah, interesting discussion there. If you want to read that, it looks like it's still going on. It's actually expanded quite a bit since the last time I was on here. Holy crap. Okay, yeah, this one got a lot of people. So different Jeff Williams though than the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, there's a lot of contact, a lot of new responses here. Oh my god, yeah. So their first name is not effing when you talk to developers. Yeah. Um, I come up against this. There are developers that definitely want to do the right thing. And to Jeff's point, there are certain forces that are forcing them to do things they don't like. But on the other hand, I've seen product people who are driving the developers to do things, and the developers are like, well, I like, eating, and, I like making rent and mortgage, and I have a family, and yes, I will go ahead and enable FTP on all of this fancy new product that's going to, we're going to $100 million that's going to go out. I'll worry about that problem later when it gets there. And so, yeah, a lot of it is market force. A lot of it is, somebody with blue sky thinking, hey, we can, let's create a way to, find lost keys, and let's invent the AirTag, and nobody thinks about the bad guy way of doing things. So it becomes a way of stalkers to track people quite easally. So you have to go back and create version 2, which has certain controls and things in place. So all right. Hello World was a very simple example. Okay. That Hello World was a very simple example. Let's move on to something more like an ordinary app. Where the hell is the Hello World at? Oh. Hey, Digital Warhead. I wrote a lot of code knowing that there was precisely zero chance it was ever going to see daylight anyway. Yeah. I appreciate that. Oh, and in fairness, I was a developer for 20 years. My apologies. I guess you managed to escape the doldrums of being let me see here, cargo. All right, cd leptos, and then cargo install leptos fmt. Here we go. Doink, 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 doink. All right. Well, we're getting something. Oh my god, look at all the shit that it's pulling in. Look at all the shit that it's pulling in. Wow. Lazy static, glob, Windows targets, crossbeam epoch, crossbeam, DQ, quote, and style. It's garbage. Tonal date time. I guess that's the joy of let's see, what all do we have here? We have at least 80 things that are going to get added. The good thing about we found out with Rust is it does create an SBOM of sorts to allow you to keep an audit of what's going on with your application and what modules are being put into place. Yeah, boy, that's a lot of shit. Lazy static. I remember that one from the Rust OS system. TOML, console, Unicode ident. So the idea is that Rust is supposed to be type safe, supposed to be somewhat memory safe. We are, of course, adding WebAssembly and JavaScript, so it's not going to be memory safe at some point. That's my guess. So, those of you following along here, got my 5K in today. I actually did 50 something kilometers of running last month, which is well on to my way of hitting my goal of 250 kilometers for the year. So I got 5.25 kilometers today in 30 minutes, 15 seconds. It's not bad. Setting up Leptos FMT with Rust Analyzer, optional. No. I want an analyzer. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it sounds very important. Inside of which you'll typically write your UI code because the view bang macro enables an RSX like JSX style of writing your UIs. Cargo FMT has a harder time auto-formatting your code so that it's inside the view bang macro. No, Lady P, I know that command. You can't get me on that one again. I've already done that once. So, hey, fix it. Good to see you. Glad you're here. We're just futzing around with something called Leptos, which is a Rust web framework for statically created websites, or client rendered websites, because it looks like you pull this in after it's been updated, and then when somebody visits your page, it will generate in the browser. Kind of like, I don't know if it's like an Electron app. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me I'm wrong. But that's what it feels like here. So first install the tool cargo. Install the tool with cargo install Leptos FMT. I did that, right? Yeah, okay, just did that. If you want to use the default options from the command line, just run Leptos FMT. All right. From the root of your project to format all the files using Leptos FMT. I see, okay. So anything with the .rs, which is Rust files, right? Hey, fix it. It's not actually an infectious disease, which is what it is. Leptosporidium. Yeah. Actually, I thought they were going to have some kind of, janky rabbit, because, leptos reminds me of like a rabbit for some reason. I don't know why, but they've got some kind of weird icon right here for that. But yeah, I expected some kind of stupid rabbit, like, the crustaceans with their crabs and things, which is an infectious disease, crabs. Oh my shit. Okay. Hey, Cybercoster, welcome to the Terror Dome. Yeah. Okay, so one final note before we get to building with Leptos. If you haven't already, please feel free to join. They have a Discord. So here's a Discord. Sure, why not? I won't click on what Lady P might have sent me in DM on Discord, but if you want to join their Leptos Discord, here's that. Oh, well, hey, Cybercoster. I'm glad you are new to the field of cyber. What's your background? How did you find, what motivates you to want to join cybersecurity in 2024? No judgment. Everybody has different reasons for doing so. We're a no judgment zone here. I came from vulnerability management myself, and GRC related issues. So everybody comes from different places. Mostly IT. Sometimes there's a lot of military, but I've seen folks with bachelor's degrees in biology, because data science is a huge thing. So data analysis and being able to handle large amounts of data in a good. Lady P is judging. That's okay. She judges me too, so it's all good. It's all good. Where's? Oh man. Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right. So let's see. This is not. What the hell? Turn that off. How did I lose the dock? I must have clicked on something else. So. Yeah, I must have clicked on something and lost the book. So. I'm sorry, Cybercoster. This is your first time joining us and hanging out here. So, tends to be somewhat of a stream of consciousness, very small stream, with many tributaries that it's almost like a river delta where we branch out a little bit from the main. So and then the tributaries feed in through with folks like Digital, Warhead, and Lady P, and Beta Wolf, who's not here, and Fix It, and Age of Music, and all those folks are good regulars. And Walt, of course, Walt, last but not least. So let me see, let's define our app component itself. It's relatively simple. I'll give you the whole thing up front and then walk through it line by line. Okay, cool. As long as this person doesn't start trying to, make me do a bunch of shit and then goes, oh, you did all that work and now it doesn't work. Here's why. That'll be great. So components are the basic unit of composition, and in design in most web frameworks, Leptos is no exception. Conceptually, they are similar to HTML elements. They represent a section of the DOM with self-contained defined behavior. Unlike HTML elements, they are in Pascal case. So most Leptos apps will start with something like app component, right? Okay, so we have func main, Leptos mount to body view /app. Now let's define our app component. All right, so we're in a view. So the view, everything in the app component is what's going to be typically viewed on, and the body, of course, mount to body would be everything that's in the HTML tag. At least that's how I'm understanding it, and I'll probably explain it down here as well. So body is, of course, the body tag in an HTML. So everything in body to body. So this is going to show everything that's going to be in here. So we have func app implement. Okay, so let me get my doc up here. Feel free to join in. Cybercross relatively largely directed by interaction. Right. I was working as SOC analyst. I think working as a SOC analyst might be for me, as I love high pressure situations. Have you heard of Try Hack Me or Hack the Box? Yes, that's a very good one. Isn't that for pen testing? No, Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. See, we got another little stream on the delta here. So it's a training. Try Hack Me. It's another one. I have an account on here, but I think let me see, learn. Hands-on hacking. They do a bunch of stuff, not just, pen testing and what have you. I think they also have some SOC analyst stuff. Yeah, learn skills needed to work as a junior security analyst in Security Operations Center. SOC Analyst 2, so you're going to do some malware analysis. You're going to utilize SIM tools to handle incidents, monitor endpoints for threats. So this one's easy. This one is SOC Level 2. Largely opinion that if your SOC is high pressure, your management is failing. Yeah. Hey, Monk Duck, how are you? Yes. So there's probably some free stuff, but there's also it's not overly expensive. And then what was it? My objectives is finish Security Plus right now, perhaps do my Blue Team Essentials and learn Splunk. Yeah, if you're going to learn Splunk, you might as well just go for like whatever Splunk certification is there. It's one of those ones that I would say is probably not a bad thing to get if you can swing it. I don't know how much it would actually cost, but those are, we're not going to learn Spanish today. But yeah, so there's, security analyst role, you'll be a triage specialist. You'll spend a significant portion of your time triaging or monitoring the event logs and alerts. So you're going to, pyramid of pain. We've talked about the pyramid of pain on the show here, as a matter of fact. Cyber kill chain, unified cyber kill chain, diamond model MITRE, yeah. Now that Cisco owns Splunk, Splunk has gone from a license I can't afford to a license I can neither afford. I remember thinking it was a big deal when I worked at CrowdStrike back in 2017, and they gave us a site license for Splunk because, as an endpoint security company, we were handling quite a bit of data, right? Oh yeah, Security Live. Yeah, shout out to Security Live. Yep. There we go. Pow. Yeah. So yeah, Pyramid of Pain is good. We actually did a couple of shows on that. We did a show on that with Miss Berlin and I forget the person's name. But yeah, those are all great things to review. Cyber Intelligence, Intro to Cyber Threat Intel, Yara Rules. We're going to do some Yara stuff as well here. Maybe I should go through this just for shits and giggles. Network security and traffic analysis, snort challenges. Snort's still a thing. Okay. Zeek, right? Zeek exercises. I'm actually running Wuzza these days. Yeah, I've heard about Wuzza. Is Wuzza in here? Did they mention Wuzza? See, itsy bitsy. Okay. Splunk Basics. Oh yeah, see there you go. So yeah, Cybercoster, if you want to, start on some of your Splunk stuff, incident handling with Splunk, investigating with Splunk, so you're going to need to get to Section 5. Yeah, Yara, there, Age of Music. Yeah, they have Yara rule sets in here. Where was it? Yeah, Yara under the cyber threat intel stuff. Your terminal's in the way. Oh, yeah, well, that's me. My bad. Sorry about that. Sounds like a personal problem. Stupid VS Code. All right, there you go. So yeah, there we go. This is, I can't actually, I can't believe I actually have like people on right now, like more than like people stuff and things. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a good, starter. It's easy. There's 52 labs. You're probably going to get some demo software. I'd imagine with things like Splunk, you're going to be able to use their Splunk instance. I would suggest not actually routing logs to it, but they will have probably a basic Splunk instance that, is available. Windows Forensics, which is great. Doing a little DFIR there. Volatility, which is awesome. Velociraptor, phishing analysis and fundamentals. That's nice. You have friends? Yes, Cybercoster. We're all friends here. We're all noobs here. Some more than others. I'm like the chief noob because I'm trying to learn a language, but I'm finding that the more programming languages I try to learn, the more discouraged I get because they're all garbage. Python, Go, Rust, WebAssembly. Yeah. Noob off. Yeah. Every pro was once a noob. I'm not a pro. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody's ever a pro. Now you're under the window. Yeah. This is why we can't have nice things. There we go. There, I'm pretty again. There we go. Yep. See, there I am. Yeah, so try Hack Me, Hack the Box. I don't know what. I think they're both the same price. I think they're about the same price, and I'm not sure what the offerings for them are. Get started. Let's go look at Hack the Box Academy. I don't want to sign up for a bunch of shit again, so I already signed up for that. I think I actually turned it off. In this corner, he puts the brakes on. 5'6". No, I'm 5'11" and a quarter. Gotta add that quarter. $9 a month ain't bad. I spend more on coffee. Yeah. The thing is though, it's like going to the gym, right? You have to be realistic about your expectations, and as a quarter, right? Gotta have that 5'11" and a quarter. You'll start, it's like people who make New Year's resolutions. It's like, I'm going to go to the gym. You start going to the gym first couple days, the pain sets in, and you're like, oh, I'll go next week. And then, oh, I'll go next week, and I'll go next week. And then they don't go back, which is what gyms love and want. They want that money that is never going to be realized, right? They want you to continue paying with the idea that, oh, I'll go because I'm paying for it. If you're going to start these things, you need a plan, right? You need to, cheap as hell. If I pay for something, you best believe I'm going to take advantage of it. Awesome, Cybercoster. I'm completely all in on you, with that. That's great. It's just you need to make sure you can set time, stick to it. It's a regular regimen, 30 minutes a day, or however long it takes you. I've done some of this stuff on the stream here. Unfortunately, it goes better sometimes than it normally does. I should try Hack Me Again, paying but not using. Yeah, see, I have, I think, memberships for both. I just, it's one of those things. It's like streaming service. You find out, oh, I haven't used Peacock in months. Why am I paying for it? That kind of thing. But yeah. There's other, if you don't want to do red teaming, and actually some of the SOC level stuff will go into red teaming, like malware analysis or CTI stuff. Once you start learning about CTI, then it'll be like, well, I want to try some of those techniques. And then I don't want to say that's red team, but that's, more along the lines of what red team folks try to do. They try to emulate adversaries. So by understanding the CTI, then you can say, okay, well, how did that, method, or how did that work for that person, or that bad actor, impotent panda or what have you. And red team's competitive, I heard. I'm just trying to find a job by April or May, to be honest. Yeah. Not doing the ASL thing, cyber, but there actually was a job we talked about earlier that didn't require any experience. And I put it in our job board on both our, here it is. If you don't mind shift rotation every quarter from day, mid to night, Cognizant is looking for people with little to no experience and will train you. They also, minimum qualifications, something like a Security Plus or other entry-level security certification. So just a thought. I'm not saying you need to, it doesn't say anything about it being remote or on-site. Maybe I didn't read that far into it. So Cognizant is an IT outsourcer. They work with a lot of contracts with a lot of companies. So they have a bunch of people. Some company comes in and says, hey, I need IT folks. Oh yeah, here's, half a dozen to do whatever. So this is going to fall under healthcare security operations. So you'll be working with, corporate security to verify and validate logs and respond to threats. So, I don't want, my thought was being healthcare security operations is going to be like a large EMR or a healthcare center, like a health system, kind of like how UCSD down here in San Diego, University of California, SD, has a massive healthcare center in La Jolla. Or someplace in New Jersey would have, I worked at a place and did assessments for a joint in New Jersey. It had a huge healthcare system, 20, 30 branches of hospitals and specialists and surgeons and what have you. So, they're going to have EMR, they're going to have endpoints, they're going to have, healthcare is not the most secure environment. So, this might actually be a little busy. But so, yeah, Cognizant is one of those teams that do, IT outsourcing, and this is for their NOC or their SOC in this case. So, 24, tier 1 position, 24/7 monitoring, reports of security events, shift work required. So day, midnight, you'll move every quarter. So ideally you'll, every third quarter, you'll be back to the day shift for a quarter. So, but you know what? I think they just posted. Yeah. So, it's in New York. So I don't know if they do remote. I'm imagining it's not, but it says remote, but it says 100% remote, but it's in New York. So yeah, give them a shot. Go and hook that up. I have a few items on privacy.com. I like the email when the card is charged. Oh, reminds me about the service. Yeah. Oh, I use privacy.com accounts to pay for this stuff every month. I go through and look at what I'm using or not, drag the slider to the left, and I'm not paying. I don't have to go to the site and figure out how to cancel or whatever. I just stop paying. Oh, yeah, no problem, Cybercoster. I had made comment earlier in the stream that this was one of the more better written job descriptions that I've ever seen for security positions, especially junior positions. And so, yeah, go check that out. They also have other stuff as well. If you're looking for, if you're an associate director, mergers and acquisitions, whatever. But they have a ton of stuff, and they're always hiring. I think probably Earth City, Missouri. Where the hell is that? Okay. But yeah, so go check them out. careersna2@cognizant.com. So there you go. Oh, or yeah, if you have a disability or whatever. So they also work a lot with H-1B visas and what have you as well. So again, not and the pay is anywhere between $32,900 and $74,200. So if you've got any kind of IT experience where you can tick off some of these preferred quals. If you've got 1 to 2 years of IT experience or any experience with networking, any of that other stuff will bump that up, right? But there you go. All right, so, oh, yeah, you're in Canada. Okay. Well, I mean, if it's remote, they don't care where you're at, right? So that's a good thing. And if they're 24/7, then you're going to be, you're going to follow the sun. So you may be working with teams in other countries. You'll be working your 8 on mids and somewhere. It's always daytime somewhere, right? So, all right. Here we go. All right. Let me go find my VS code wherever I put that. There it is. How do I get it back? Oh, I threw it down below the screen. Oh, how does one get that back? If I gotta remove it and start over. Yep. Age of music. It feels like that's like an open rec, right? So, it's cool that they've actually suggested they will train you and then it's remote. But they do a lot of work outside of the subcontinent of India, a lot of folks in EU and Romania. So, if you're in, middle of Canada, Manitoba or Saskatchewan or someplace like that, that would be a great first type of job for remote work. Probably not a lot of travel involved because it's a low level associate tier 1 type position. But yeah. Just a reminder to everybody, we're going to be streaming again this Sunday. We're going to have Ms. Bat on talking about what it takes to get hired and hiring, actually, surprisingly enough. We're not segging into anything new here, but yeah. Okay, let me see. Where's my VS Code at? There it is. Okay. I threw my VS Code down below the screen, so I couldn't get it back. So I had to delete it and remake it. Because that's how we do here. So there we go. See, this is production values. I'm rearranging shit on the fly. All right, so we have... Okay, so we already have a problem because they already mentioned the hello world being a very simple example, but I don't see the hello world mentioned here. So let's see, where is it? Lepto crates. Let's double check. Setup, console error, panic, cargo add into your project. Copy. And then click that. Yes, I know it's probably hiding the screen. So, oh, wait. CD leptos. Okay, and then cargo toml is not. Nope. Okay, I don't have a cargo toml. Okay, so examples, counter source RS. All right. You can use the Win key arrows to move air. Yeah, yeah. Digital. My point was I'm rearranging them on my overlay, not on my screen. Yeah, the Windows arrows keys are. I don't know how many times I've lost a window onto a screen that I couldn't get to, and Windows plus the arrow keys are very helpful for unfucking that chicken. So yeah, it's been very helpful for that. So it was like, mind explodes. So NeoVim, okay, settings dot. Okay, shouldn't be because of the nature of macros, they can expand from anything to anything, but only if the input is exactly correct at that instant. It could be hard for Rust Analyzer to do proper auto-completion and other support. I don't like auto-completion. Maybe that's just, yet another time saver that I don't quite understand. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the VS Code UI for creating things that annoy the hell out of me and cause me not to know what the hell's going on. For the server macro especially, which annotates function bodies but doesn't actually transform anything inside the body of your functions, could be very helpful. Starting in Leptos version 5.3.053, Analyzer was supported for the component macro, but if you run into issues, you may want to add component to the macro ignore list as well. See below. Note that this means that Rust Analyzer doesn't know about your component props. Interesting. Which may generate its own set of errors or warnings in the IDE. All right, so you have Rust Analyzer ignored for your Leptos macro. Server type is going to be ignored in this case. NeoVim, which is filthy. Helix, don't know what that is. JetBrains is awful. Ew, gross. Don't use JetBrains. Complete shite. Setting up Leptos with an analyzer. Yeah, we've already done that. Okay, good. I don't see the hello world comment that this person has suggested is here, so. Yeah, so there's some missing documentation. Another thing with developers, as we were giving them shit earlier because somebody said we give them shit, documentation can sometimes be incomplete. So this person wrote a hello world example, but there is no hello world example here. So, because there's nothing mentioning it anywhere here. So let's see. Component body. All right, so we're gonna go through and review this, which I will copy paste into VS Code real quick. There we go. It's missing some things, I think. It's component signature. Like all component definitions, this begins with a component macro. So this is an entire macro for these. Looks like it's there's a button, on click, move. So there's some JavaScript actions, on click, and then click me. So ideally what we're going to get is a box on a web page that has been generated by the system, which will have a button that says click me on it. Unlike component definitions, this begins with a macro, annotates a function so it can be used as a component for your Leptos application. Let's see some of the other features of this macro in a couple chapters. Okay. Every component is a function of the following characteristics. It takes 0 or more arguments of any type, and it returns implied into view, which is an opaque type. It includes anything you could return from the Leptos view. Okay. Anybody use this? I've got 9 people plus lurkers. So anybody used a web framework for Rust? What was your experience with those? The body of the component function is a setup function that runs once, not a render function that reruns multiple times. You'll typically use this to create a few reactive variables, define any side effects that run in response to those values changing, and describe the user interface. So yeah, let count, set count, create signal 0. Creates a signal, the basic unit of reactive change and state management in Leptos. This returns a getter setter tuple. To access the current value, you'll use the count get or on nightly Rust in shorthand count. Okay. To set the current value, you'll call set underscore count dot set or set count. Cool. Leptos defines user faces using a JSX style like format. All right, so what's JSX like? Extension to JavaScript. Okay, that's fun. Salary of 32,000. That's kind of wild. That's minimum wage, right? Cybercoster, you're absolutely correct. One of the suggestions was that if you have any of the other preferred qualifications like IT experience or you've managed SIMs or what have you in the job description, you should be able to, I would say, negotiate, or there should be room there, depending on how many of those bullets that you can actually, tick with regards to the preferred quals. Once you got your Sec Plus, you're probably not going to be making $32,000. And it might also depend on where you live. If you lived in New York, you might not start out at 32. It would depend on, region of the country, for instance. Like if you live an hour away from the Bay Area, you'll probably lose, $20,000 to $30,000 from somebody who works in downtown SFO and lives in downtown SFO. These docs are old and won't be updated. Due to the nature of this position, Cognizant cannot provide sponsorship for U.S. work authorization. Oh. Well, shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. That sucks. I didn't think about the Canada thing needing an H-1B as well. That sucks. I remember them being huge in the H-1B visa process way back in the day because, they tended to bring in a bunch of folks from the subcontinent and from elsewhere. So there may also be, because this is in the U.S. work authorization because of U.S. healthcare compliance. I don't know. There may be other reasons why they can only allow for authorization inside the U.S. But there's let me, 1 second here. Let me put up an invite to our Slack. There we go. So if anybody's interested, you can also join our Slack. We have a Discord as well. But if you join our Slack, we do have a social contract. Lady P is one of our moderators. I'm one of the moderators. We do enforce our social contract. We don't tend to give a lot of warnings if you aren't professional. We haven't had to ban a lot of people, so we're kind of, hoping you'll do the right thing and, act like a professional when you're in there. Oh, crap. Any desk also got hacked? Okay, so first Cloudflare and then any desk. That's not surprising. Wouldn't be the first time either, so. All right, so that's JSX. It's an extension of JavaScript. So here's the view macro that we saw up here at the top where they said, view app. So the view format for the view macro is right here, and you're going to define a listener event. So on click, when it does that, you're going to set count 3. Text nodes are wrapped in quote marks. Yeah, click me, and then this should be mostly easy to understand. It looks like HTML with a special on click to define a click event listener. So when you click the button, something happens. And then move, count, get, whatever that is. People sometimes joke that they use more closures in their first Leptos application. Oh, am I still online? I don't understand that. Oh, code sandbox. Wait. Okay, Cybercoster, appreciate. Yeah, you don't have to lurk. If you want to put on some chill hop while you're working on your Security Plus, that's cool too. They have a code sandboxy thing for people to play around with Leptos. Interesting. Okay, throughout this tutorial, we'll use Code Sandbox to show interactive examples. To show the browser in the sandbox, you may need to click Add Dev Tools, Other Previews, 8080. Add dev tools where? See what we got here. Okay, so info, starting build, asset pipelines, fetching cargo artifacts, WASM for the app, WASM bindgen. WASM bindgen, that sounds familiar. From our Go and Python days. Applying new distro success, assets at / server listening 127.0.0.1 Okay. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Download DevBox. Show the browser in the sandbox. You may need to click Add DevTools. DevBox is render code in our cloud development environment so you can build any project without limits. Micro VM started. I bet we're using all the containers here. Oh, it looks like a very similar click me. Okay, so the code that they created. So there's, oh, sorry, one sec. Jesus, man. I don't know how other people manage their Windows. I can't manage my Windows for shit. So I've only been doing this for like 3 years. So this is interesting. So you put it in the codesandbox.io, which is something I've never heard of before. Looks very cool. Looks like some kind of Electron app that runs in the browser. So it's kind of an Inception thing. We're going to be running anonymous. Oh, I don't like that. All right. To show the browser in the sandbox, you may need to I don't know where add dev tools is in the motherfucker. Jesus. Okay, so where's add? No. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be adding my freaking repo to this thing. I don't know where the hell this goes. It's definitely some kind of VS Code micro VM. So you want a quick tour around sandbox code. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. Okay, so see here, the set count just sets the value set _ count update, gives us a mutable reference and mutates the value in place. Either one will trigger a reactive update on our UI. Okay. Serve the address serve on. Okay, trunk.toml. Source main.rs. Okay, so here's our main.rs. There we go. So we have function app in. So here we create a reactive signal. Let count. Read signal I32, set count, write signal I32, create signal. The view macro is how we define the user UI, uses HTML-like format. We can accept certain Rust values. So here's the button. This is the button we need, and you see where it's got open and close brackets. So on click will run whenever the click event fires. Every event handler is defined as on event name. So on click, on mouse over, on what have you. So it does that, and then it will. The idea is, yeah, see, every time you click, the event adds +2. So the initial event was 2, and then 2, so 0 plus equals 2. So the plus equals will say, okay, you know, I want it to add n, which is 0 at the time, plus, and then, you know, automatically add 2 and then return that value. So 0 plus 2 equals 2, and then it'll go back, n is 2. Oh, interesting. So it reset itself after a while. Or somebody's resetting it for me and they're watching here as I am playing around on the system. How often does it reset? Every so many seconds. Let's see here. Open logs. Oh, don't do that. No, come back. Preview console, component inspector, AI component editing is available in Code Sandbox Pro upgrade here. No, I'm good. Oh, there's the ask. What's that? Interesting. Okay, so hover over any of the variables to show REST analyzer details and docs. Feel free to fork the examples and play with them yourself. Okay. Dynamic attributes, classes, and styles. So far, we've seen how to use the view macro to create event listeners, right? Which the event listeners in this case are the on click. So every time we click this, now we could have done something simple, different, where we would have said on, like on mouse over. I could have done on mouse. Yeah, I'm not going to sign in. Thank you very much. But right here, if you'd change this to on mouse over or something like that, like button, was it HTML button events? Yeah, here you go. So according to W3 schools, let's see, where is that? Yeah, on click. So there's the on click. There is on load, on unload. So you refresh the page. On load, it's going to do something. On unload, it does something. But for buttons specifically, mouse over me. So yeah, so you can mouse over me. So you can actually do that. So instead of it saying thank you, it would have added 2 to the score. So you'd have been like, it's 0 right now. It'd have been 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. On mouse down, on mouse up. Interesting. Okay, so this is how, you know, when you're viewing a web page and you mouse away from the main window, then you get that, hey, sign up for all of our bullshit, like, you know, ads stuff. It's looking at on mouse down or on mouse up. So if when, you know, like you're going to, you know, hit the back arrow, once your mouse leaves the window, something pops up and says, hey, you know, this. Or if he goes down here to where the start button is, or where you might be trying to close something. Oh no, wait, this changes an image when it holds the mouse down. Oh, my bad. Okay, that's my mistake. All right, so click the mouse and hold down. Oh, interesting. Well, I'm a dumbass. But there is an event similar to that where once you leave the main window, it asks you to do something. Some of the more shady websites. On click, yeah, or all part of that. Yeah, on focus, change the background color of an input field when it gets focus. And if input field gets, oh, there, yeah, so, okay. That's very cool. See, this is JavaScript, I understand. Actually, W3 Schools does a really good job of discussing JavaScript. It's just there wasn't a lot of it there. I think we went through Python using W3 schools on that. So, okay. So yeah, those are the different. Well, some of the different ones. There's a bunch of them. So I'll ask. Okay. All right. So let's start with simple component. This should be familiar. Click a button to increment a counter. Right. We've done that. Yeah, we've done that one before. So click on click, so it's going to move, so it's going to add, you know, n plus 1 and automatically return n to be that new value. So 0 plus 1 is 1, back to setting n to 1, and then plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And yeah, so far this is just the example from the last chapter. Dynamic classes, let's say I want to update a list of CSS classes on this element dynamically. For example, let's say I want to add class red when the count is odd. I can do this using the class syntax. So class red, interesting. So count, so it'll say whatever the value is divided by 2, and if there's a remainder, then it makes the class red. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's an interesting logic kind of issue, right? So yeah, it takes the number, divides by 2, or it takes the remainder of after dividing it by 2, and then any left over, then it's an odd number, right? When the value is true, class is added. When the value is false, the class is removed. And if the value is a function that accesses the signal, The class will reactively update when the signal changes. And every time I click the button, the text should toggle between red and black as the number switches between even and odd. Okay, so is that down here in your fancy box thingy? Let's see. All right, so where is the... Okay, double count. That's interesting, okay. Double count, yes, on red. Oh. Okay, so it doesn't actually change the number. It doesn't make the number red. It changes the click me to red when it's an odd number. So when it's 8, obviously it's white. So you could actually just set some kind of alternating thing as well, but you could end up with a 12 with this red, or what have you. So right, 20, 42, which would be the count right here. The count would be under the 42. And then divide by 2, and whatever the remainder is, if it's equal to 1, then it makes it red. So you could do something similar with 3 or 4 or 5 or 1 million. So 21 divided by 42 divided by 1 million. If there's any left over, then it would you could have it changed to green or what have you. All right, scroll back up here. Dynamic style. So individual CSS properties can be directly updated with similar style syntax. So you have view, button, on click, move. All right, so you have n. So 0 plus 10, make that value n again. Set the style, position absolute. Okay. We're getting back to the browser wars when style sheets were, king. Setting positions for absolute. If you don't understand a lot of CSS, I think W3 Schools actually has a good HTML, CSS tutorial as well to give you some ideas to those. I'm thinking Lady P remembers the browser wars when you had to, this website was formatted to work with IE6. I still have nightmares. I'm still seeing my therapist for that. Or this is best viewed in 1024 by 768 resolution because of how everything was positioned just so on the page. And if you're at 800 by 600, it's just not going to work, right? So now everything's all better. Everything's all better. And you probably still have some issues, but it's a lot less because everybody's pretty much running Chromium now. Google won the browser wars. But yeah, dynamic attributes. This same applies to plain attributes. Passing a plain string or primitive value. Reason I still have every value. You don't have to have every browser installed, Lady P. Nobody gives a shit about Brave. Nobody gives a shit about Brave or Opera. Or what's the other one? Iceweasel? No, Iceweasel uses Firefox. Yeah, there's a bunch of them, but nobody gives a shit about Brave. Nobody gives a shit about Opera, or Safari, to be fair. This page best viewed. Yes, Martin Blank, exactly, 100%. Word wrap's gonna suck. Yeah, exactly. Ew, Lady P, you use Brave? Nah, I shouldn't judge. I'm sure people love them some Brave, whatever. It does something. I'm sure it's real good. If it's privacy, I use Firefox. I'm probably good enough. But if you're running Opera here right now, it's because Twitch won't run in Brave locked down. Okay. I haven't used it. Fix it. I have alternated between Firefox and Chromium and actually Edge, which Edge is just Chromium with a fancy front end. But saw an ad for Opera GX. Is Opera the one you had to pay for at one time? Gaming browser. Come on now. Oh. It doth blind me with its purpleness. Yeah, it doesn't cost anything anymore. I guess they open sourced it. Isn't it just another fancy front end with Chromium running on it? Netscape, yes. Netscape. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, sometimes I wish that Firefox would go back to its Firebird days when it was a nice, simple, 20 meg browser and not this god awful heap of shite that it has become in the last 20 years. But I'm old, so. Oh, CPU limiter. Okay, so it's got cool stuff like CPU and RAM limiters. Oh, hell, RAM limiter would be great. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to use Opera though. Ugh, that's not good. Anyway, so they dynamic attributes and progress, max, signals are functions. So value count is value. Every time we set the count, not only will the class of the button be toggled, but the value of the progress bar will increase. Okay, so we saw that earlier with this, with the when we clicked on it, you see the progress bar moving and dependent upon what is available. Browsers are now second OS. Yes, very much so. I keep commenting on the fact that you can run Windows 95 in a browser now. Yeah, I mean, it is a browser for all intents and purposes. If you can, what is it, Chromebooks? Pretty much everything runs in Chromium OS. So yeah, as you click, you get the odd numbers, you get the the status bar moving across the screen here. What happens when this fills up? Let's go see. How far does it need to get to? 50? Yeah, 50. So it fills up when it gets to 50. But you can make it any length you want, right? When it gets blue. So yeah, so max 50. So if you wanted to update the progress bar and make it longer, you could say max of 200. I'm not sure what you would need that for, but it's nice to know that this is kind of in the system. So far everything seems somewhat readable. You got your counts, your click me, which this is actually the button right here. This whole thing minus the remarks, but the button tab is similar to what you would see when you you'd see this, but this is the button bit here, and then you have your class, which is your CSS stuff. So it's all kind of in line instead of, but I'm sure you can call CSS independently because there's 3 different ways of doing it. You can do it in tag like this. You can do it at the top of the HTML file, and set them there, or you can set it as a separate file that exists in your directory somewhere that can be called by the HTML. Depending on your type, you may use one or all 3 in some way, shape, or form, especially if it's like a one-off kind of thing where it's like, oh, we want this button to just do this time on this only page instead of like a site-wide browser change. So your progress tab is right here. So that's interesting. I didn't know there was a progress tag. That must be something new in HTML5. The BR tags, of course, page breaks or line breaks. Another tag here, double count. So the value of the double count. So when you click them, that's why you get 2 here and 1 here. You have to separate those out. I guess you could have as many as you wanted to, wherever double count exists in here. There's double count at, oh, here's double count. Okay, so you're going to multiply the current count times 2, whereas you're going to keep the original only by 1. So, well, that's pretty good. This is, nope, not going to say it. Nope. Any perception of positivity here is, I don't hate Edge. I use all of them equally. They all, there's, even in 2024, there's some sites that are like, hey, my hospital, if I want to do a in-person thing on my phone or a virtual thing with my doctor, I have to use Chrome because Firefox doesn't work, especially for things like WebRTC camera microphone stuff. It kind of sucks. So I have to remember to I use Firefox on my phone, but I have to enable Chromium as the default browser when I click on the links in the EMR on my phone so that it will open join the web conference link in the browser to my doctor using Chrome. So it's really weird. I'm not big on spyware, hence the Brave. Yeah, if that's, in threat models, yeah, use the Brave to, do so. Yeah, because even Firefox is not above, telemetry or collecting that information. Yeah, it's just not that way out the box. I've got Edge blocked, right? Use Chrome for sec lives, TTS. Yep. Yep. So injecting raw HTML. I don't like the term injecting anything in there. I use Edge when Windows forces me to. Yeah, it makes sense, Walt. Especially if you're, if some companies are like, want to reduce their security, threat, how many times have we seen Firefox or somebody come up with an O day that has to be patched? If you've got 3 browsers on your computer, that's 3 different applications you have to patch for maybe the same vulnerability. So if you're like, we only use Edge here, it's like, okay, you can, what's this? Okay, less of a footprint, less attack surface. If you update your Chrome browser, but you don't update your Firefox browser, and the same vulnerability affects both of them, you've now got a problem. Request Apple devices. Yeah, company default is Chrome, right? That makes sense. My kid has virtual visits that require Safari on Apple devices, even though every browser uses the same damn engine. Yeah, Martin, I can't use Firefox on my phone for my virtual visits. It won't allow it. The UCSD healthcare system uses some kind of browser. I can't even. Yeah. I have to use something else. It just requires Safari. Windows News always starts an Edge. Yeah, I've seen that when I go down here to my little pop out here on Windows 11. Everything opens in the browser in Edge or what have you. So, cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're injecting this. The view macro provides support for an additional attribute called inner HTML, which can be used to directly set the HTML contents of any. Oh wow, it's 5 o'clock. All right. Wiping out any other children you've given it. Note this does not escape the HTML you provide. You should make sure that it only contains trusted input and that there we go. There's the problem. Injecting raw HTML. You should make sure that it only contains trusted input or that any HTML entities are escaped to prevent cross-site scripting attacks. This is not an advanced topic. This is a topic you shouldn't do unless there's absolutely no way around it. Yeah, this is ugly, and I would not suggest doing it at all if you can keep from it. Oh God, it's so wrong on so many levels. I mean, Jesus. Because some developer is not escaping all of their HTML entities, and it's going to cause cross-site scripting attacks. Oh God, it's just god-awful. Oh, well, fix it. Don't mind us. I'm actually about to drop off here because I am hungry and I ran 5 kilometers today, so I'm gonna be a little. I'm gonna go drop off here, and also I'm gonna do a better job next week of putting this, making sure everything is set up here. So I run a VM for Kaiser with a trash copy of Windows with Edge on it. I install. You know what, Lady P, I think modern.ie is gone. I used to run, I used to do trash VMs as well, but I don't know. Can I download? Is it the dev tools now? It looks like they've gotten rid of like the. Where is it? Yeah, it looks like they've gotten rid of like the downloadable copies of Windows that you can have for like Hyper-V or VMware or whatever the hell people are now using for VM tools, a VirtualBox. I don't know. But it used to be you could go to modern.ie and download a 180-day test version of Windows. Oh, used to, but just bought a $15 copy of Windows from SCD. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm working on my times and stuff. There's still hot garbage, but yeah, so um, yeah, 30 minutes, 15 seconds, 5 minutes 46 seconds per kilometer. Average heart rate 158 beats a minute, 165 steps per minute. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, my concern, Fix It, is there's a lot of people saying now that's been bought by I forget who bought VMware just recently. Cisco, something like that. I used to have the ISOs from MSDN, but I don't have the ability to have that anymore. And I think MSDN is shut down, isn't it? Well, the old MSDN that I know of. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Can you get VMs from? You can get ISOs from here, Walt? Broadcom, yes. Thank you, Walt. VMware bought Broadcom, and then everybody's all like, jumping ship like rats off the Titanic. So, downloads. Here we go. Is this where you get your? Well, that's Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio. Look up Windows 11 development environment. It provides images from... okay. Excellent. Yes, modern.ie used to be where, like, even when I went to SANS courses back in, like, 2017, 2018, and our friend Ray Bango actually was on the team that managed modern.ie. So, Windows 11 development environment. If you have a Visual Studio license, it still comes with MSDN. Oh, okay. Dev workstation in the cloud. Nerp. Google search. Windows 11. There it is. Okay. Yeah, see that they don't, I guess they got rid of the modern.ie, or they took it off of the thing there. At least dark mode Notepad, I assume. Fix It. I don't have Notepad installed on my Windows 11 box. I just use VS Code. I mean, yes. Yeah, I can get licenses pretty cheap. CP for Walt. I know somebody who works at Microsoft. So, but yeah, so there's where you can get your Windows 11 dev machines, VirtualBox, parallels. Interesting. Okay. Hyper-V. I've tried Hyper-V. I can't get that shit to work. I still have a VMware 14, 16, something like that. So there you go. Expiration date, April 9, 2024. Okay, so there you go. Nice. Good to know. Let me bookmark that, because I have had need of a Windows 11 box for a while, and it's enabled with Ubuntu installed. Excellent. Okay, well, so I will work and make this better next week. I do want to learn this Leptos thing, because I think it would be helpful for me for my website, for some of the things that I'm doing, including setting up my own, business thing that I'm working on. So I am motivated to learn this. It seems like, nope, not gonna say it. Nope. We're not even all the way through part 1 yet. So not gonna say anything. We'll see what happens. But yeah, go check out Leptos. There's a book. There's some decent. Yeah, normal Notepad. I don't have normal Notepad installed. Fix It. They in Windows 11 they took Notepad out, and it's now by install from the Windows Store. I haven't used Notepad++ in for fucking ever. I used VS Code's available on Linux, Mac, Windows, everywhere. So Calc is still on here, but I think they're even going to get rid of Calc. It's like, well, if you get rid of Notepad.exe, the hackers have nothing to hack, right? Isn't that how that works? So if they don't have Calc.exe, what are the hackers going to use to pop Calc if it doesn't exist? So anyway, Winget, yeah, Winget is also a good one. Chocolate is another good one. Anybody online that we can go raid real quick, since I want to share some love. Devon Pone College. Pone College is online. Oh yeah. Oh, see, now this person's real. I mean, they got some C stuff going on. So let's go raid Pone College. And you can go and enjoy that. So have a good weekend. Stay warm, stay safe, take care of yourselves. As we're fond of saying here, you're the only you have. We'll see you Sunday with Ms. Bat. So same bat time, same bat channel, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So take care, and we'll see you all on Sunday. Bye, y'all.